Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the market recap. And if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Now, before we get into the market recap, I do want to go over an announcement I made in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, I'm sure you're already aware of what I'm going to say. If you're not, well, here's the news. I'm proud to announce to pretty much everyone that the Lemon Garden is now an official partner of the MEXC Global Exchange. I believe this partnership is going to be extremely beneficial for not just MEXC Global, but also for all of us in the Lemon Garden. This partnership is going to bring many, many benefits, and it's already started. We're going to go over a few things that they've already began for the Lemon Garden, these exclusive deals. And then I'll give you a quick take on all my thoughts on MEXC Global as well as an exchange. Pretty much MEXC Global has a promo running right now. So if you join through our referral link, so through the Lemon Garden referral link, you'll get this exclusive offer. Essentially, you'll be able to deposit $500 or more. You'll get a $10 bonus or more. Again, it scales with how much you deposit, up to $9,100. And then you can trade an accumulated volume. Again, it'll be all made clear on the landing page. So if you click on this link right here, you'll go to the Lemon Garden landing page on MEXC Global, and you'll get a lot more deals, a lot more info on the deals, okay? And this is only for 30 days, so keep that in mind. You'll get all this stuff pretty much made clear to you, so make sure to click the link, read about it. Take your time with it, of course, but you definitely want to make sure to read through this stuff. Obviously, understand its fee structure, all these good things. But essentially, if you go through our referral link, you'll be viable for the accumulate trade volume promo. You can get up to $90 in rewards. And there's a great one here. If you use our referral link and you deposit and trade through our referral link, you'll get $9,000 in bonuses, okay, up to $9,000 in bonuses, but also 30% off trading fees, which is absolutely incredible. Again, you have to do this between November 29th, pretty much today, and then all the way to December 29th. Once that happens, the promo ends, and you won't be able to receive this stuff anymore. So this is exclusive to Lemon Garden. So make sure, if you're interested in this, to hop on in. And then on top of this, starting December 1st, we have already MEXC has given us another promo to look forward to. Starting December 1st, there's going to be 0% maker fees for all future trading pairs. So pretty much, if you like to market in, market out of trades using futures, so all futures, no matter the pair, you're going to be able to not have to pay any fees from December 1st to the end of December. So please, guys, make sure to take advantage of this. If you like to be a market trader, you like to just market in and out, I don't think there's going to be a better place to trade futures than MEXC Global, at least in December. Now, like I've said, I am very confident in MEXC Global. I've gotten to see a lot of things behind the scenes with them. In this time where many exchanges are at risk, MEXC Global seems to be one of the best ones operating, because they're not just surviving, they're showing signs of thriving. They're also backed by many large entities, one of them being Tencent. So I am very, very confident that they have the funding to weather through anything, and they're only showing inflows going into their exchange. So it seems like many people are leaving other exchanges and going into MEXC. So that's just further confidence that this is a growing platform that seems to show signs of stability. They've never been hacked either. Now, even though I have high confidence in them, people are people. So please make sure to be wise with your money. Never risk more than you can lose. If you ever have any questions, make sure on the Discord, ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. And definitely talk to the support with MEXC. They are great. They're really attentive. They do their best to give you all the information you're asking for, okay? Now, that is it for the announcement that we are an official partner of MEXC Global. I hope you guys are happy, and I hope you're in the Discord and you're part of the group, because from here, guys, we're just gonna go up. We're just gonna go up. We got myself. I'm gonna work hard, and we have a great guy like Nassi here, Matt, on the Discord. If you ever have any questions, you want to talk to someone, he's a great guy, Nassi, our admin. And we have cool people like Cool Crypto Pair. He does his own thing, but make sure to talk to him. He's definitely one of the best. He has one of the best insights on the Discord. And we have so many other people, guys. Just make sure to talk around and get to know each other, and watch as the group grows, watch as the garden grows, and you're going to grow with it. All right, guys, that's enough. Let's hop on in to the market recap. And make sure, again, if you're going to join MEXC, use our referral link so you get all those deals. Now, starting off with the dollar, like usual. What a day in the dollar. It's been a very, very interesting day, somewhat odd as well. You know, the dollar has it showed some weakness early in the day, then, you know, kind of showed some strength going into the close. So right now we have about an hour and a half on the daily candle for the dollar, trading back into the blue zone. I really like this structure for it to break up higher. So as we continue to trade this way, I do see that we're going to have some resistance here. So in the short term, this level right here, so we're trading in this bearish fair value gap on the dollar. So as we come in to about 107.121, we may see the dollar turn back down and start creating a wedge structure, okay? Now, this doesn't mean it's going to happen, but this is definitely a possibility here. So where you have price come in towards this zone here and then make a lower high from this swing high here and then kind of grind lower like this, then you're looking at a pretty bullish structure overall. You're looking at a wedge structure to then probably come up and test out this higher fair value gap. Now, what I am seeing potentially here is a double bottom structure where we can go up higher and immediately take out the liquidity above this swing high and then come up again towards the high of the blue zone, the low side of this bearish structure down here, and tapping the lows of this bearish fair value gap. That's definitely in the cards too. Either way, what this is telling me is probabilities are to the upside overall. Now, we may get that small pullback once we get towards the top side of this fair value gap, but we want to have a bias for the dollar to break up again. But I do think before we start taking out, you know, this swing high up here, or even visiting this fair value gap all the way up here towards 111, we're going to probably visit anywhere from 104 down to 102 and really just test out this ascending trend line here before then, okay? So though I'm seeing upside in the short term, I am definitely seeing more downside for the dollar. But as I mentioned in the last recap, the very special one I hope you watched on Sunday, today was the beginning of major news, right? We had some major news today, but nothing compared to what's coming. I mean, we're going to get the jobless claims. We're going to get Jerome Powell speaking. We're going to get the GDP numbers. We're going to have so much big news all the way until December 2nd that a lot of what we're seeing here can change, right? So what I'm seeing here may be completely different tomorrow. All right, so depending on the stances the Fed takes and how this data is reported, we could see the dollar gap up, we could see a gap down. So we just have to be exactly what we always are, patient and vigilant. So let's just remain on the sidelines when it comes to the dollar, but right now recognize the bias is to the upside back towards 108, but overall look for a retracement back down towards the 104 to 102 zone down here. All right, now let's get to the Dow, and then we'll look at SP and Nasdaq after. So Dow having exactly what we thought would happen, you know, that pullback, that nice rejection, and then we had pretty much a nice doji close here. So what I'm seeing is, you know, we're probably going to see that continuation down towards this lower fair value gap, and at the very least, we'll take out the liquidity under this wick here. So under this small consolidation, this small retracement, we'll look to grab the liquidity through there. And if it's really bullish, we may see upside from there. But in my opinion, I would look for a small rise from there, a bearish bias rise in the short term, then break down going towards this descending trend line. And if we can hold this descending trend line, then guys, that looks super bullish going forward. But I do think a lot of this is going to have to depend on, you know, how is the Fed going to come out next week, right? What's the stance going to be? Hawkish or dovish? And the more dovish we are, the more likely we're going to be taking out these high pivots up here, right? So I'm really looking forward to this week. I'm loving how it started so far, and tomorrow should be a very, very interesting day. All right, next is the S&P. So S&P, same thing as Dow, trading within the bearish fair value gap, filled out this bullish fair value gap, this very small one right here, and we should see the S&P just off the technicals, because the Dow is also showing signs of a continued pullback. It's very unlikely that we do stop here. I do think we're probably going to see a pullback further and try and fill out this entire fair value gap, and honestly probably look to potentially break this ascending trend line right here. So you have this ascending trend line right here. It's very, very steep, so it's very likely you'll see this break, and from that break then you'll look for a consolidation, and we'll have to wait and see how will the consolidation look. So you're either going to get one of two things, right? You're probably going to get a break like this, and you're either going to get a slow grind up where it has a bearish bias, or you're going to get sideways, then somewhat drifting lower, where you're going to be looking to try and make a higher low from this swing low down here. So again, we're coming into that point where we're going to start building out a structure for continuation, whether that's going to be the macro continuation to the downside or continuation from the short-term uptrend that we've had in the S&P. But the bias right now is for continued lower moves going down towards 3850, potentially 3800-ish, okay? Next, we're going to be looking at the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, continued pullback, still trading on top of that descending channel. Now we're tapping into the higher side of this fair value gap. We actually had to close into this fair value gap, and like I said in the last recap, look for that continuation lower, right? It's very likely we at least come back down towards 11,000, 11,050, but if we can hold this general top zone, really not threaten these lows down here, especially this low wick down here, that's a really good sign for continuation up towards this higher green zone up here. Now the NASDAQ to me is lagging the S&P and NASDAQ and Dow just a little bit, but it makes sense considering it's also overshot the downside move compared to them percentage wise, okay? But I do have that short-term bias of downside, but keep in mind this will all change from today going to December 2nd, depending on how dovish or hawkish the Fed will be. There's no point in guessing how they're going to be. We'll respond. We'll react to them. That's why the way we trade, at least the way I swing trade, and those who follow the swing trades know, I always go in small and then we build out the positions. And we have, right now we have just under 50%. I think we're maybe got exposed 52, 53% of our account to the markets. So we have a ton of cash on the side. So if it goes against us, we're ready to add on. And if it goes in our favor, then we're ready to, bank it. So we're in a really, really nice place in the swing trade service to really be at a great, to bank in on the opportunity, to grab the opportunity that may be coming our way. All right, next is oil. So looking at oil this is why I said in the last recap, I do think oil comes lower, but it hit my zone. Like it hit my level where it can pop up from here. It makes complete sense for it to pop up from here. Not a problem at all. Right now it's in the process of filling out this bearish fair value gap. I'm actually going to get rid of the doodle just so it's a little cleaner on this chart. So this is the fair value gap it's trading into today. So let's get rid of this descending doodle because I feel like it's played out for the most part. I think it can still come lower to actually trade on this descending trend line. But you see the wick down here came right through, did tap this was a major support level here at $75, so we'll take that right off. And to me, it looks like it's played out. The upside move from this trend line did not play out. It was still, it wasn't really, it was one of those like kind of toss-ups where it was like almost 50-50, slightly biased to the downside, but it was very, very close. Other than that, just that breakdown makes complete sense. We've had a very nice buy up wick here, and we're having a nice trade up. Now, in my opinion, this trade up is coming off grabbing liquidity from this low swing down here, this swing low down here, and watch for this fair value gap to get filled, and potentially even this fair value gap to get filled completely, getting back towards 84.50, and then that continuation lower, because then we're going to be finally making a true lower high from these pivots up here. Right? So and then we could see that continuation down and eventually getting towards $70, $68, that zone. But overall, I like oil in the long term, but short term, I still see some more downside. Or I should say midterm, I see more downside. Very, very short term, within a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, we will see some upside in oil. Next is gold and silver. So gold and silver, I'm very bullish on gold. I think this breakout from this ascending trend line is extremely bullish. I like that we took out these pivots down here, took out the liquidity there, took out this small swing high here, took out liquidity as well. And now we're having a bullish retracement, and it's kind of doing what I said watch out for. If it starts having like a slow grind down, it's going to start looking like a bullish consolidation, which will then mean we're probably going to see another move higher, another leg up going above this swing high. And guys, I'm sorry if you hear my dog barking. He's really young. He's just playing with my other dog. Sorry about that. Can't really do much about it right now. But essentially we're seeing this bullish consolidation potentially forming, but in my opinion the probabilities are that we do still see some lower moves down in gold, especially if the dollar is going to show some more signs going up, right? So I'm going to look for this fair value gap to get fully filled going towards 1720, and then potentially the median fair value gap to get filled as well, and then continuation, and that would build out, if that does happen, a pretty nice looking bottoming structure here. You'll have kind of like your head and shoulder structure here, double head here, but you'll have somewhat of a bottoming structure potentially forming if it were to do something like this. So that's kind of what I'm eyeing. And then if that does play out, then look for that move going past 1800 and probably even tapping towards 1880 to 1900. All right. And then next we're going to be looking at silver. So silver trading up towards the top side of the microphone structure it's been in for quite some time. I still think this comes lower, especially as I do think gold will have a further retracement. Now, if gold is in a bullish consolidation, this doesn't mean that it's going to stay where it is. I still think it will drift lower. And because of that, so will silver. Now, that may mean that silver only comes towards the fair value gap and kind of drifts on top of it, or we will see that full retracement in gold. Yeah, then we'll see that move back down towards the full fair value gap retracement, and then probably this ascending trend line. And then it'll be interesting to see if silver does break. I do think if silver were to break this ascending trend line, it'll be off of gold breaking that median fair value gap, going down towards the ascending trend line. It actually broke bullish. So going down towards this level here and potentially back down towards 1650, 1640. So I don't see this breaking unless gold really starts plunging down from where it's at. All right, and lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's see how Bitcoin's been doing today. So Bitcoin's been pretty interesting to watch today, especially off of like the dollar kind of strengthening out, but also kind of just trading sideways. It's a very interesting day. Right now, Bitcoin's just really respecting this descending trend line. As you can see right now in this daily candle that will close in about an hour 20. Still trading under it, has tapped it a couple times. I mean, tapped it today, been tapping it all day really. And then we had a couple little doji candles, their wicks kind of tapping around there. We have to have the bias of more downside just based off what we've seen here, just the structure. But if we go down towards the lower time frames, there are some signs that, hey, maybe we are going to have some upside, right? Because if you're watching the 4 hour, you have what looks like the potential of a break of this resistance zone right over here at 16.8. So a lot of this is looking like an attempt to break through. You had this rise here, you had this consolidation that failed down, but then you're having a higher low potentially forming here. And this looks like a really, really interesting structure right here. This looks like a very ugly bullish consolidation, at least an attempt. If it can take out this high pivot here on the 1 hour decisively and close above that level on the 4 hour, I think you're probably going to see a nice move going past 17,000, potentially going towards 17,210, because we do have a fair value gap here on the 4 hour that does catch my eye, a bearish fair value gap right here. The top side is just under 17,200, so we may see Bitcoin get towards that level. And now if it does get to that level, that doesn't mean it's now going to just go higher. What I do see happening is one of two things. Now we're either going to see Bitcoin get to that level, maybe I should say one of three things. There's always a possibility that things just go up, okay? The same thing with things can just go down. There's always that possibility, but the probabilities are one of two things right now. So we're going to see Bitcoin potentially get to this level, if it should be able to confirm past this range here, this structure here. And then we'll see that pullback for the continuation of the macro trend to make a new leg lower. Or what I'm potentially seeing is we're going to try and create a larger trend up on the daily, short-term trend on the daily. On the 4 hour, it will look more significant. So on the daily, we'll potentially pull back here on the 4 hour from filling out this fair value gap, coming back and then attempting to make that higher low from here, and then having continuation to then try and take out the liquidity above these wicks and potentially even start tapping the low side of the larger fair value gap here, the daily fair value gap here, and then this is also coinciding with the daily consolidation level right around here at about like 18,500. So this could be what's potentially happening here, but it doesn't. Again, if it is, then we're ready for it. If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll be looking for that continuation down, but this actually starting to become more and more likely as the 4-hour trades. Okay, it is starting to become more and more likely as the 4-hour trades. I'm also seeing signs in some other coins like Ethereum, other altcoins as well, where we're seeing some real bullish, bullish price action. But again, it's just off of the smaller time frames, a smaller uptrend. The macro trend is still to the downside, so we have to respect that. But do not be surprised if we see Bitcoin make a move towards 17,200 around that level, and then pull back, and then the real test will be, all right, are we going to actually make a higher low and then attempt to go higher, or are we just going to continue that trend and break down past 15,000 going into the 14s? Okay. All right, everyone, that is it for the market recap. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe, maybe a share or two. Just help the Lemon Garden grow. I think it's a very valuable service. Whether you're going to be part of the services or just going to be in the Discord, I think our community has the potential to be something really special to a lot of people, and I'd love to see that happen. It's already special to me. If you have any questions, please be on that Discord. That's the best way to get in contact with me. And if you have questions for any of the other members like Nasty or even Cool Crypto Pair, if he's around, just give him an ask. That's where you're gonna get in contact with them. All right, everyone. Remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.